So with a move away from full-time detailing and a change of career onto a shift pattern, I've got a little bit more time on my hands, so I thought I'd tackle the task of making a video on how to polish a black car. From hand polishing, refining and cutting. In this video we'll cover all of it and remove those pesky swirl marks. Now prior to polishing any car, take a moment, grab a clay bar, grab some clay bar lubricant or some detail spray and decontaminate your paint thoroughly. This will stop the polish picking up that contamination later on and marring the finish whilst you're trying to polish. A little clay bar in now can save you a long time in the polishing stage. I mean, there you go. There's the results. They speak for themselves. Imagine that going all in your machine or hand polishing pads. It's not going to do you any good, is it? Now, for true results, I use detail spray when I clay bar. So what I thought I'd do was take some neat alcohol and spray the panel down. A thorough deep clean prior to the polishing removes any oils or synthetic polymers that might have been in the detail spray that some people argue and get a bit panicky and say that my polishing results aren't true. So one last wipe down with a bit of alcohol prior to polishing, and then we'll really see the true before and the true afters. Now, as a source of light, I'm using this Scan Grip mini match. Couldn't afford the bigger one at the time, so I bought the mini one and I absolutely love it. It fits in the pocket easier. It's got 2 colour temperatures, 2 brightness settings. What more do you need? Here you can see that the paint was in, I would say, a relatively bad condition. We're seeing swirl marks, there's holograms, there's hazing, there's marring, and there's even some bird staining. In the corner for hand polishing, we've got StjarnaGloss Sciarra. Difficult for a lispy person to say. This is going to represent the hand polish. What can we look for when we're using a hand polish? Now, to get a true representation on all of the sections that I'm going to do in regards to polishing your car, we'll run a tape line. Next, with a hand polish, you want to use a microfiber applicator and add 3 to 4 pea-sized drops. Now with Sciarra, what I found was it had some small micro abrasives that really did enhance the look of the paint, but actually it's the glazing oils that were inside this product that really gave it depth that became hard to pick up on camera. I don't have the fanciest of cameras, so it becomes quite difficult. Workability of this product was great and a little went a long way. Like I say, what can you realistically achieve? You can achieve a more precise reflection once you've hand polished your car, and the glazing oils will add a depth, and you'll actually see that in the finished shot when we look at it with the Scan Grip. Great thing about hand polishes like StjarnaGloss is that actually you can use the microfiber applicator and get in those little intricate areas, those little details that really add up. On this Mercedes it was the S320 badge. Having done a lot of machine polishing in the past, what would I have done? Taped it up and it probably wouldn't have got a look in. But with a bit of hand polish, actually you can take your time and get around these things. Now you can see on the top right of that pad that actually Sciarra has cleansed the paint as well. Even after it was clay bar, we're still pulling dirt out with a hand polish. Great product. So last thing to do was just grab a microfiber and give it a good buff off. Now here's your before and after. There's your before, there's your after. Like I say, it's not removed all the swirl marks, but you've got a crisper reflection and the glazing oils have covered over some of that marring to make it appear that much better for you. By hand, great result. Next up, in terms of level of aggression, you're looking at a finishing polish. My go-to has always been Meguiar's M205. Sometimes I dip in and out of Sonax, but this is just a staple for me. A really low cut, as you can see, but great finishing qualities. I team this up with a large orbit machine by Roots and a yellow Roots foam finishing pad. Again, we'll be methodical in how we do this. We'll tape a section up. I will season the pad on the fly today purely because I'm just doing one section. I'm not doing a large quantity of this vehicle. Now, with the product added to the pad, like I say, I'm seasoning on the go here. You can see that what looks to be a large amount of product, actually, by now, on that polishing step, that pad is fully saturated and every pore of that foam is now working. Step the speed up to speed 3 and just gone in. Same as I would do on any other car. The crosshatch pattern, you all know how to machine polish by now. As you can see, M205 is great because it has a great work time and really allows you to finish down a car nicely. This is that next step up from what we did with the hand polish from StjarnaGloss. So we're expecting a little bit more cut, more precise reflections, but not the perfect result. An easy buff off, as it's a finishing polish. You'll find these tend to be quite oily. There we go. So we've got our before on the right and we've got our after on the left. What you'll notice is, as this was a fairly soft area of paint, a lot of the swirl marks are gone, but we're seeing some deeper marks that remain. And that's why we still have the compounding in our arsenal next. So that final level of aggression, the big guns, the heavy hitters. Koch Chemie H9 heavy cut. Used H8 quite a lot. This is my first bottle of H9. Still settling into it. I'm liking what I'm seeing though. Either this or M101 for me. Now, because I don't have compressed air at home, microfiber was out the window today, so I grabbed a foam cutting disc from Meguiar's. Open pores, nice and good cut to it. Again, 4 dots on it and I'll prime on the fly. Same reason as before, I'm purely doing this to make the video. I wasn't doing an in-depth cutting session. If I was, I would take the time, coat every pore of that piece of foam before then cutting the paint. A small amount of time on speed 1 really did prime that pad as it's open cell technology, and then I've ramped it up to speed 2 to 3, start spreading and start cutting. Again, same thing, crosshatch motion, and you'll find that this product really doesn't dry out easily and stays lubricated and cutting for a long time. Great if you're just getting into compounding and cutting your paint. Now you will find, because of the abrasives and the lack of oil, that a cutting compound will be harder to buff than the hand polish and the finishing polish. However, it's doing a more aggressive job, so we can expect that. Also, a cutting compound will often leave its own form of micromarring. Therefore, we need to come back with the M205 and the finishing pad and remove that. That will then give us the absolute clarity that we're looking for corrected paint. Some of the harder cars you might work on with harder paints, they might look like they don't need finishing. But once that paint has contracted from the heat of the polishing, you'll probably find it does. So take the time, go around with a bit of finishing polish, and that clarity really will pop and sing to you. And there you go. I mean, the results, they kind of speak for themselves. I'm quite happy with that. For a little bash with some compound and a finishing polish, that was one hit with each. We're not going crazy here. That's a good result for me. I'm quite happy. However, you'll find that your pad does start to jam up with all the old compound and paint. So, if you're at home and you don't have an airline like me, grab a really firm bristle brush, then give it a scrub, and you'll find that actually the pores start to open up again, and it will relieve any dead paint that was stuck in the pad. Crucial for keeping good cutting results around a car. Now, of course, you've hand polished it, you've finishing polished, you've compound finished hand, you've gone the whole 9 yards. You need to protect it. That could be with a coating, a paint sealant, or a wax. I'm a little bit old school. I try not to use coatings wherever not necessary. So today I would go in with StjarnaGloss's paint sealant and Zymol's Carnauba wax. For me, it's a great team. This paint sealant's lovely and easy. Some of them you'll put on with a microfiber applicator. This one, a couple of sprays onto the panel. Grab yourself a nice plush microfiber cloth because you've just corrected that paint. Buff in with one side of the cloth, flip the cloth over and buff it clean. It really is as simple as that. Now, with the paint sealant laid down, time to grab some wax. That beautification layer at the end of any detail. The oils in this stuff is just incredible. The depth and the colour it adds to paint is second to none. That's why I always opt for a nice layer of hard wax at the end of any detail. I have to say, I've really enjoyed making this video, and having the time to put a bit more effort into it I think really pays off. As always, really appreciate you viewing, and like I said at the start, hopefully there's more to come this year. As always, thanks for watching, and make sure to share, like, comment, subscribe and all of that good stuff for more detail and content in the future. Cheers!